What is up, everyone? It is Dominic here for Obligatory, bringing you an overview of the new releases in music for the week ending in Friday, September 22nd. Kicking things off with what we deem the three most notable releases. The first of these three sees the Alchemist yet again curating even more concoctions of underground excellence, with this time seeing him locking in 7 new songs with Mike and Wiki for a full-length follow-up to the 2022 EP the trio released last November. Al is originally from Southern California, but has long been a staple in the East Coast hip-hop sound and scene, while Mike is a deeply emotional songwriter with a distinct Malays tone. Wiki, on the other hand, made his way initially in groups like Rat King and Secret Circle as a wordy, dynamic MC with a highly recognizable voice and undeniable flow. Alchemist meets them in the middle here with hints of boom bap in an otherwise jazzy and cloudy abstract rap record. Up next, we have Doja Cat, who released her new album Scarlet, which sees her looking to dive further into a rap-oriented sound. Some comments she made leading up to the album pointed toward a whole new sound, going as far as saying she was going to make German rave music or hardcore punk in 2 separate statements, which unsurprisingly Scarlet is neither of. Her 4th album is still somewhat of a deviation, but it's also not completely removed from the pop-driven sound that she very vocally came out against in even more statements and tweets as part of the album's rollout. So again, it's not a reinvention for Doja Cat, but Scarlet is probably the most rap-focused we've heard her in a while, and it is out now through Kimo Sabe Records and RCA Records. With the last of our main 3, we have Gene, Dawson, and SZA, who share the collaborative single No Seasons. It's a sort of melancholic ballad that's a little bit folky, and the two originally teased the track back in May, when Dawson posted a TikTok of the two of them listening to it in the studio, and then they kind of just dropped it out of nowhere this week. Moving on to a couple more albums and EPs from this week, it is Earthgang versus The Algorithm in their latest EP, R.I.P. Human Art, as they look to dig in a little further on their versatile blends of lyrical southern hip-hop and psychedelic neo-soul. The EP is 4 songs plus an ambient intro with some thematic poetry that is largely melodic and easygoing. This was released through Barry Hefner's Since the 80s imprint, along with J. Cole's Dreamville Records. Singaporean artist and producer Yeule released their 3rd album this week with Soft Scars. Soft Scars comes by way of Ninja Tune and sees Yeule playing with some softer and more textured sounds that makes Soft Scars a bit more dreamy sounding than last year's Glitch Princess. On a somewhat similar note, experimental electronic musician Eartheater released her 5th album Powders on Friday. On one hand, it's what you expect from Eartheater, on the other, it is completely not. Lush and hypnotic fusions of pop, folk, and various forms of electronic music make up this album, which is out now through Chemical X and Mad Decent. We also have the new album Crying, Laughing, Waving, Smiling, which is the latest addition to the Slaughter Beach Dog catalog. It is the 5th album from the Philly indie rock outfit led by Jake Ewald, formerly of beloved emo band Modern Baseball, and it is out now via Lamo Records. Japanese band Chai share their 4th record, this one a self-titled release. Bubbly, funky, and super playful, this is a good one if you're looking for something to dance to and have fun with. Chai's Chai is out now via Sub Pop. And last but not least, we have the post-punk trio of Patio, hailing from Queens, New York, sharing their 2nd album this week with Collection. That one is out now via Fire Talk Records. Pop-punk longtimers Blink-182 have announced a new album with 2 new singles, One More Time and More Than You Know. The former of these 2 is the title track from their new album, One More Time, which is set for release on October 20th through Columbia Records. The album was recorded during their recent reunion tour that saw Tom DeLonge rejoin the band, making this the first Blink album with their classic lineup since 2011. Somber and reflective, the title track sees the band looking at their ups and downs, including Mark Hoppus's battle with cancer, the plane crash that almost killed Travis Barker, and generally the trio's friendship and career. Singer-songwriter Faye Webster just shared her 2nd single of the year with Lifetime. It is another super dreamy soft rock track, and similar to her last single, But Not Kiss, comes with a music video directed by Kyle Ng of the Brain Dead Fashion Collective. Webster also announced some new tour dates in the UK and Europe that will begin in May of 2024, about 6 months after her US tour, which starts next month, is set to conclude. Faye Webster's Lifetime is out now via Secretly Canadian. If you are deep into the Philly music scene and or the wave of resurgence that shoegaze has had over the past several years, you should recognize the name Blue Smiley. The Philadelphia band only released 2 albums before frontman Brian Noel's passing in 2017, But even with that relatively small catalog, Blue Smiley still maintains somewhat of a cult following, and their influence is still felt today within the likes of Feeble Little Horse, They Are Gutting a Body of Water, Alex G, and too many more to rattle off. Now, this fall, the band and Noel's estate are partnering with Top Shelf Records to bring Blue Smiley's 2 albums, OK and Return, to vinyl for the first time ever. Both albums are available for pre-order now, and they have also shared the previously unreleased track Coma, originally recorded and intended for Blue Smiley's second and final album, 2016's Return. London-based band Bar Italia have announced plans to release their second album of 2023 in November. In May, they released the album Tracy Denim, which saw them play with a mixture of nostalgic sounds from rock's past, namely dark 80s post-punk and 90s indie rock. Their new single, My Little Tony, is a punchy garage rock track that walks a similar path and is the first taste of their new album, The Twits, which is set to release November 3rd through Matador Records. The Birds Attacked My Hot Air Balloon is the new single from long-standing indie rock / post-hardcore group Patio, who earlier this year shared their 8th full-length album, All Fiction. This new song comes from a just-announced EP that is set for release in January of the new year titled Hot Air Balloon. All Fiction saw the band experimenting quite a bit with their sound, leaning into some more ambient and atmospheric sounds that we can expect to hear more of on the upcoming EP, as the 5 songs on it come from the same recording sessions. Hot Air Balloon is out January 5th, 2024 via Exploding in Sound Records. Earlier this year, the Brooklyn noise rock band Model / Actriz released their fantastic debut album, Dog's Body, and this week they have shared a B-side of sorts from those sessions with Winnipesaukee. It's harsh and abrasive, but still maintains this sparseness and some incredible pacing that makes it feel as unsettling as just about anything that we heard on their debut. Not sure why it didn't end up on there, but it has become a live staple for the band, and I'm glad we've got a studio version now. Chicago club pop / EBM trio Pixel Grip shared the new single, Bet You Do, on Thursday, their first piece of new music since their phenomenal 2021 album Arena. It was one of my favorite albums from that year and of the past few years really, and it saw the trio craft an entrancing and dark brand of dance music that is some of the most engaging and captivating I have ever heard. Bet You Do picks up right where that left off, just as exciting and fresh, but maybe even more up-tempo and energetic, so definitely do not sleep on this one. Some real quick shoutouts to some more great singles before we wrap things up. We've got new ones from Reverend Kristen Michael Hayter, formerly known as Lingua Ignota, synth-punk band The Surfs, and garage punk's Citric Dummies. All 3 of those acts have albums coming out relatively soon toward the end of October and beginning of November, depending on which one you're looking at. It was another really strong week where there was a ton of music released, so we obviously didn't cover everything, but if you want to see the full list we put together, you can check that out on your screen or head over to our socials. Otherwise, we are currently polling for a ton of albums, including ones by Noname, Genesis Owusu, OutKast, Olivia Rodrigo, Jeff Rosenstock, and more. If any of those artists are of any interest to you, whether you love them, hate them, or anywhere in between, make sure you check out our voting form where you can submit a score, select top tracks, and submit a review for a chance to be featured. Lastly, go check out our previous video where Dev covered some news stories and music that happened over the past week or so, and of course, thank you so much for watching.